happen again. Either way, more and more are dealing with conflicts calmly and openly. Promising.
It promises that I'll have an eternally cluttered desk.
Here, Your Majesty. I've brought in the next load.
Oh no.
And there we go.
She reminds me of Naruto.
Not half bad, right? Hey, isn't the king supposed to be here?
When did he? I've said countless times not to leave unannounced.
Oh, all this decoration doesn't suit me. How would Louise and Forden put up with all this damn finery? Your Majesty? Are you here?
It doesn't
Juna's
suit
back from her
him.
inspection.
I love Juna's
Apologies,
outfit.
I'll look for him now.
Wait, I'm coming with you.
Oh, good grief. Some things never change. Not that they should.
I'd say life has changed plenty for us. Yet somehow our captain's same as he ever was.
I'm really just wandering around, huh?
And then, well, I might have got a bit too fresh with them stuck-up Sanctists. But those bloody church folk been looking down on us for years, you know? Still, it was other Sanctists what stepped in to keep
Where's
things peaceable
Basilio?
too. I reckon they're not all bad. Guess me cog's turning. They lost both their Santifex and the Saint Lady last year. Got their own struggles, I expect.
As authority weakens, power falls to the hands of those who have never wielded it. We must ensure that it does not corrupt and give rise to new conflict.
Not like it excuses all of them or makes me want to go up and shake a Sanctor's hand, but you really put some perspective on it.
You'll come to understand them.
I believe you'll come to understand them.
You know what, lad? You're all right. You ever need some good, honest work? I'll get you squared, eh?
I'm glad to see more optimism in the world. Still, it will take more than that to affect true change.
I should have known you'd be wandering around without your escorts again. How is it, being able to hear the city's honest thoughts? If you told them you're the king, it'd knock them sideways. Sorry you ended up coming all this way. Maria's actually out on an errand right now.
Oh no! Okay. I look like the king. I am the king. How do they not notice me as the king? I must know. I'll wait till she
I
comes back.
suppose I'll wait until she comes back.
You sure? That girl always ends up on detours.
She's always
No
lost.
telling how long she'll be. Either way, let's keep your head down. You know what happens when you're too obvious about this. Sooner or later, the lady captain of the Royal Guard.
Oh, there you are. I knew we'd find you here, for crying out loud.
Oh, too late.
So you were here.
Her facial reactions.
Let us return, Your Majesty. And I thought I had informed you that Juna would be back from her expedition today.
I'll go back soon.
I have a few stops left in the city, though.
You do know I practically sprinted out the gates to find you. 'Tis settled. I shall come with you on every excursion.
Not dressed like that, you won't. You know how we like snooping around, inconspicuously.
Point taken.
He'll be fine. His Majesty is not about to fall prey to some alleyway scoundrel, surely. Right, Your Majesty. If you see Maria about, do slow down for a chat. She'll be shattered if she finds out she just missed you.
Fine. Now, Your Majesty, once your business here is finished, please make sure you return to the palace with all swiftness.
All right.
I have freedom?
Let's go.
First time we went, Maria went missing seems so long ago. She might be praying at the Grand Cathedral, just like back then. Before heading for the Grand, why not talk to everyone else first? They're all in the royal capital to prepare for the new year, so let's find out. to talk to.
Fun.
How many times we sneaked out of the palace? I've lost count. Let's make sure we see Maria before we head back, though. You know, it's something I've been thinking about for a while, but it doesn't feel like we've kind of flipped. Flip?
I think.
Well, usually it's fair to go off on our own all the time, and people are always shaking their fists at us about it. Not you, humans. I am struggling to keep king of the whole darn country in one place for a few seconds. You catch my drift?
Well,
Sure. Not that I complain, I like that about you, to be honest. I appreciate you too. You've been there for me so many times, Gallic. I lost count. Hey, what are you using in past tense? We've got a whole our lives ahead, right? Remember how you would hit the streets to hear everyone's struggles during your tournament? I bet that's what you had to support you do in Montario and Oshena.
yes.
I don't mind getting dragged all around the place, but if you're gonna sneak out, all I ask that you don't leave me behind, okay? I'll drop everything and tag along no matter what. Promise me? Anyway, that's enough. Let's get going, Your Majesty. Okay.
All right then.
Oh, darn you! I have to do this again. They would like apparently what the new Switch runs is on like supposed to be like PS4 graphics. I mean, if this game is on like on the PS4, I think it'll be okay. Not as pretty, maybe.
Come now.
When you finish your business outside the palace, please promise me to resume your duties, Your Majesty. If you take this as my pressuring you're not to venture out, that's not at all. Only as the captain of the Capitol Guard, I must know your whereabouts at all times. Relax, Ultimate. You need to so serious, Ultimate. Line up, maybe. You mean to say I'm too fussy? Well, the only proper for the captain of the Royal Guard. To be overfamiliar would set a poor example. Imagine the scandalized faces of the rank and file guard. That said, not a day goes by and I don't reflect on our travels. Not only a year passed, regaining my pride as a knight to that journey. I was about a wanderer searching in vain for the prince, and it was through you I learned that he yet lived. And in the end, it was your ascent to the throne I supported.
And so,
I never tire of the faces of the younger guards make when I tell them of the time you acted as a witness to my duel. Brings, you mean the duel with Randolph? Yes, thanks to you, I was able to face him with eyes forward and put my past behind. I'm pleased to say the knights of today are nothing like they were under Randall's command. Soldiers take up their sword not for those in power, but for the people. And as a champion of the people yourself, we will do all in our power to protect you, our king.
well,
You do not make it easy by sneaking out of the palace as you do, though I suspect the soldiers are getting used to your chaotic tendencies. They know they protect not just a king, but a ruler who stands beside his people and hears their voices in clarion truth. I will protect you with my life, as I always endeavored to do. Your Majesty, only let me stay by your side to do so.
What do you want to do?
There's still other people we could talk about. Did you want to go see Maria now? Oh, that's a lot of people to talk to. Alright, who's over here? It's like, what, 11 people? He opened up a restaurant. No, he did. I don't know what he did. What are you doing?
Yo.
Aye, unexpected again. Seems a right pain to me, but I appreciate you going all for the effort. Making your rounds, Basilio.
Hey.
Yeah, Captain of the Tradian Brigade reported in, and I'm pleased to report there's nothing to report, Your Majesty, so I'm taking a break. Bit of a mouthful, isn't it? So I'm not used to calling myself a captain. Besides, we got taken in some survivors from Louis' troops, you know? But don't you worry, I got 2 eyes on them, even when I ain't looking. The way I see it, they weren't the ones trying to make the world worse. I just gotta show them the power is supposed to be used, yeah? We owe it to you that there's less discrimination in the city these days. Fewer and fewer are returning to file to a life of crime to make ends meet. If Del could see Grand Trap today, his eyes would bug Al, and not just Del. A lot of the guys who didn't make it. I wish they could have seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same, but as long as we keep him in our memory, it is as close to saving them as we can get. Vinca included. Yeah, I was including Vinca. We built a piece with a lot of blood and tears. I say those who made it this far over, all of them who like, why can't this be dialogue? What didn't to protect? Maybe you got nothing to report today, but it's not like bad people just stop being bad because you're king now. Can't. Wait, oh, I'm already king. It doesn't matter. You've been through a lot though, so thanks for not giving up on us, or the world for that matter. You spot any trouble I didn't spot first, you point me at it, and I'll solve it quick. I believe in you. What are you doing, Isaac?
Oh,
Well, I see your king is out on some personal business, eh? I believe Hulkenberg was searching for you, but I suppose it's none of my business. Who comes there goes. I'm on break myself. Only try not to frustrate your royal guards over much, They all take their duties quite seriously, much like their captain. Bah, who am I kidding? A knight who smiles is surely a myth that's become clear to me since becoming titled. What could be more bizarre? A Yushiji outcast, once a wanted criminal, with the bounty on his head, made knight commander. There was of course some opposition at first, but the more heart-to-heart talks I've had, the more accepting they've become, albeit gradually. An outcast became king too. They need to look further than the outcast who became their king. Indeed, you face no shortage of persecution, and look at you now. Grand titles imposed across the nation are no different, spread across all the tribes. I realized over the past year how much a nation is defined by its people. No matter how great a king, he alone does not a country make. Yet he stands for those very people as a symbol and representative. That the king and those around him are the mixed tribes, it has already caused a great shift in sentiment, even for those in the rural villages. How is Tadari?
Now that you mention it.
These days. He seems as busy as he can handle now. They've resumed trade with other villages. Your coronation inspired the village to greater heights. It proved the barriers can be broken, and even they could take the first step. New winds are blowing in every corner of this country. I'll have to make another trip back home with my son to see the changes for myself soon enough. And someday, I hope, distant generations will grow up only... Oh, Rin, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome to the pirate ship. Knowing conflict born of tribal differences from history books. We've ways to go before the day comes, and until it does, let us forge the path toward your majesty. Okay, who do we got?
Alright then.
Huh? What? Who's here? Oh! Alonso! How I love Alonso. Why, hello, your majesty. It's only been a year since your coronation, but I see you become quite apt at sneaking away from your palatial duties. Under constant fire from knives for all trades and con artists and critics alike, your opening act was better, Tumty no? It's been a tough... I hadn't noticed. How kingly an answer, never missing an opportunity to display how capable you are. Condemnable. Besides, most of those agitators are kind of scum that stirs the pot in hopes that always lost sense to sneak away to give the people the lashings they've been missing. Shh, nobody knows that though. Shh, there's like a dungeon hidden, way, like way below, like super below. The only way to get there is by like teleportation magic that we have. This stirs the pot in hopes that they might benefit from the country's turmoil. Nothing I can handle, of course, all in a day's work for the royal adjunct to the Citizens' Council. Quite an ally I've made, I should hope. I wonder if my mother would be the slightest bit proud to see who I've become, and I'm doing my darnest to use my talents for good, as I always should have. I'm proud to see. I'm sure she would. There's no doubt in my mind. I hope so. I was such a problem child. I like to make this a country where honest folk like my mother can be happy. Such a good guy. There's a reason why people don't snitch. Exactly. There's one reason why I like Alonso. It takes one to know one. A scammer to scammer. And that reminds me, do you remember that from my hometown's landlord? He told me to send you his regards. He since confessed his crimes and is awaiting trial. You were the one who awakened his conscience. It makes sense, doesn't it? You've proven your ideals to be true. That's why the country's doing so well. There's nothing more to it. I'm hardly qualified to speak of pride, but if this country has one, it's you, and I'm proud to be among its people. Perhaps under your rule, the day will come, even when we media can talk about freely in our true forms. Oh my gosh, I just remember! He's tiny too! Oh no. Oh no, Alonso, stay this way, please. Don't go into your tiny form. You're curious what I look like in my true form? I'd be happily to oblige, but let's save that for another time. Nope! I don't want to know. You're fine the way you are. Nope. Nope, I don't want to know. You're fine. You think I could finally get the trophy for the sword, for driving around my sword? I'm not reading. Oh, the lady that talks too much, the one who I gave money to. Doo-doo-doo. Alonzo, you're pretty the way you are. Just stay that way. Okay.
All right then.
So this way. Stupendous indeed. Alright, so go this way. Go here. Who is here? Oh, Katharina. Oh, well, if it ain't the big man himself. Good timing, mate. I just got back into town myself. Long time no see. Ain't it been? I've been traveling since I took the reins on the sneakers recon team. Hard to believe it's been half a year. And it doesn't begin to describe what's beyond the sea. The sights, the magic, everything's so fantastic. I'm already itching to get back out there. Well, I'm not especially keen on dodging the bloody cannonballs when my ship gets too close. Lots of tension out there, but what country isn't a little tense? Everything from the customs to the way they think is so different. My head spins. It makes all the tribal bickering seem right dull, if I speak my mind. But this country's changing for the better, and I'm glad I turned over the throne to you. Appreciate it.
Hold on.
Oh, come on, I'm just roasting ya. If we knocked heads, I know I could trust you with making the lives of us Parapets better than they was. All my cohort have found jobs, and some of them have even picked up new skills from being out at the sea so long. Oh, I never did fishing. Don't you worry about your kingly head. I'll have it all whipped up in a report for ya. Don't do something proper keenish with it, yeah? Okay, that was... Thank you for keeping it short. There's someone here.
Amazing.
Huh. Sure. What do you have to say, buddy?
Hey.
Talking about the city again, are we? Which is to say, Hulkenberg is on the hunt, the classic game of cat and mouse. Though who is which, I dare not say. It's been a year since you ascended to the throne, but it's like you've hardly changed. I could say, should I be more pretentious?
I mean...
Forgive me, I'll try to act more like a pretentious git from now on. That's rich, all the royal blood in you is positively wasted, my friend. What are we to do with you? Not that I can talk, I actually came out for a bit for a breather myself. You know, I see that even those at the top have their struggles a little too clearly. A general's duties feels overwhelming at times, but there are lives hanging in a balance. I recognize the weight of every decision I make, and I do find satisfaction in protecting those lives. Remember our first meeting back at the recruitment center? I found a noble with nothing to my name, and you, a struggling elder traveler. Struggling? Okay, we ignore our first fight with the Sandworm, but struggling? No. But even then, my only goal was getting ahead. My people were little more than an afterthought. If I hadn't met you, I never realized the truth about my fortune, my father's intentions, and I certainly couldn't have saved the Haladians. I will seeing the joy in their faces to you. I think I said it before, but again, thank you. This got serious, huh? You need to give yourself some credit, Stroll.
No.
I still hold any credit I could take to you for showing me the way they live stable, peaceful lives. Thanks to you, you have a whole country on your shoulders now. The road ahead will be full of challenges we can't possibly foresee. But show me the way and I'll blaze a trail. Now and always, it's my role as a warrior to be the vanguard.
Right.
Our titles may have changed, but I'd like to think our friendship is steadfast as ever. Don't hesitate to rely on me now and always. Cool. Well, not cool. Oh, Bardon! Hey. What an unexpected coincidence, Your Majesty. No guards with you today. Don't worry, I'm not tattletale. I myself just left a meeting going over how the provisional governments are doing. We convened for the new year. You must be busy these days.
Really?
I assume you're pretty busy these days. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, but the job is own reward, knowing what good it does for the town. And I'm pleased to report as the head of the provisional lords, it's nothing but good news reaching my ears. Better relations between towns has employment up and overall welfare too. Each town has specialties and wisdom to offer, and when we combine our heads, there's no problem we can't solve. I just feel so blessed to be a part of it. I know I made some blunders when I first stepped into the governor's role, but I'm happy to share my failings so others don't repeat my mistakes. Things are all right now?
But of course.
Indeed they are. The townspeople play an active role in policy and administration, and I'm not bearing that weight alone. Of course, some lords are like I was once and would rather manage things at their sole discretion than leave things to the people. And yes, taking every matter to public opinion can be laborious with all the proceedings and disputes. Man, they really make you read. still changing our own lives. It's become back to just reads. It's like if the beginning of the game. Changing our lives with our own hands makes the process worth the trouble. And choosing the king of our own will was all the inspiration we needed for change. Oh man. Alright, who's
Alright then.
this way? I think Maria somewhere. What's my hold on, what's my objective to do?
Ain't this a pickle?
Find Maria. I'm always looking for this child.
Alright then.
I swear. You're probably here. Hey, Denny! I actually want to talk to you, Denny. Hello there, Your Majesty. It's great to see you. You're doing as well as ever. I just left the meeting with the provisional lords. I also preach the Mustari teachings in various areas. When the opportunity arises, many still push back against such teachings, but that's perfectly fine. A country is well served by different perspectives. Many of the villagers have come around to this too, you know? I think that's because you'll face such danger on our behalf. Still, it won't be easy to change the entirety of Acronia. Its history is embedded deep in the roots. The country is larger and some people will need all our power you have. The true test of your values has only just begun. I thought he was going to tell me something about his sister. Oh, Yufa! Hi!
Greetings.
Working hard as ever. Hey, my guy, were you going about town and listening to what people have to say? Myself, I just come from the crown court, where I've been consulting with people about their grievances and disputes as chief magistrate. Our court has time for that. Shouldn't you delegate that?
Well,
Our court has taken a common grievances?
Yes, of
In the
course.
past, we were busy with cases of violence and theft, but those have decreased remarkably. As you're undoubtedly aware, in the past, many citizens were sentenced to hang without so much as a trial. You know what's crazy? Maybe it's a reach, but I feel like the world that the protagonist envisioned, or the book, or whatever, the world that we're creating, it's kind of like the world that Maruki in Persona 5 Royal was creating too. Like a perfect world. It's what it is. And obviously, like, that perfect world doesn't exist because you need your flaws. It's what it's starting to feel like. This is pretty much what like Maruki envisioned, but we're working hard for it. Rather, he did the easy way. How regardless of the race or status can tell their side of the story in court and be judged equally and fairly. It goes to show anything's possible even for the priestess to become a chief magistrate. Only Maruki was slightly projecting himself onto... Yes! Aside from that, and I'm not. We're not. Well, the game is not. Didn't think of it. No, it didn't occur to me until, like... It just hit me right now, like... Maruki wanted that perfect world. And then my brother's making great strides as village chief, and he rather hated the world before, but he's truly found his calling, I think. As I said, no one knows about what the future holds. It's all more reason I try to guide people to good choices. I want to live in a society that practices kindness, where those who suffer need not to true crime, and so I practice what I preach. The other day I went to visit Ovi's church to inquire with those who are sick and there about how the kingdom can be more accessible to them. They let you in. How's Ovi? Was Ovi doing well? Yes, we practiced dancing together. We never saw the dance. And then we showed her mother, and all of them were ready to ease into working again. Hearing them made me reflect on all the people who still need our help. Until now, the only hope those people had was God. I want to fight for them to have options under the laws and systems they can rely on in addition to higher power. A country where all the tribes with all their values can join hands in harmony. That's what we need. You aim to achieve that too, yes, Your Majesty. I hope you allow me to keep walking alongside you in this. What I get? The kingdom still while browsing the shops, so perhaps I need to draft up a royal certificate of appointment. Tell the world we supply goods to the royal family. Any recommendations? One igniter in particular, in fact, though I'm afraid we're all sold out of it at the moment. The igniter I made at the children's request. Oh, the ones that remind me of like Disney's Fantasia. The one that lights up the rainbow. Oh, okay, no, it wasn't this one. It's selling startlingly well. The store was packed with families and children. I now hold a position where I control the distribution of all manner of goods throughout the kingdom as the head of the Igniter Consortium. I can't help but think if I had been in this position sooner than the church's violence, the tragedy of that village could have been prevented. It wasn't your fault. There was nothing you could have done at that time, Brigitte. I know, but I only rose to the position once you became king and shed light on what lurked in the shadows of this country. Though you can't take full credit as it were, I was nominated for my new position by my colleagues. Our new king has changed this country for the better. However, as a former arms dealer, it would be naive to think all weapons can never disappear from this world. It's all the more reason I hope that the reasons for people to wield them to continue to decline. To that end, I'll continue doing all that I possibly can with all that I am, just as you do. Ah, yes, do you remember my dog? The dog! I found the ones that took her. Naturally, I considered ending their lives, but there she was sitting beside them. Evidently, they could not bring themselves to harm such a sweet creature, so they decided to keep her instead. The dog is alive! That's all that matters. Good game. Dog alive. I had no choice but to spare their lives. I couldn't subject a gentle dog to the atrocities I committed in her name. You should come play with her sometime. I'm sure she remembers you. I would love to. Bum ba bum bum ba bum bum.
All right then.
Huh? Hold on. I'm right here. This way? Oh, this way. Who's over here? Is that the... it's this guy. I don't care about you. Nearest, and who's right here? Who's here? Wait, other side?
All right now.
What? Oh, I didn't see you. You were like... Plateau! I like care about that. Like, isn't that the cat from Academia? If that place was made of magic, how is it still here in real life? Didn't say nothing more. He could have survived in a deserted ruin, buried in snow. That shouldn't be possible, right? I just think he's cute. Yeah, he's never stopped looking cute. Doesn't bother you at all? You sure something else? If memory serves, the last king did build himself a sturdy in the Mage Academy. Do you think Academia was styled after that? Maybe. I wonder what His Majesty one more felt when he put his little guy in Academia. The cat tends to himself quietly and utterly impartial to... No! Oh no! I want to pet the cat! You didn't let me pet the cat. Wait, I thought this is epilogue. Why are we shopping? Maybe for like post-game when you NG plus it? Oh, there you are. Hey, my guy, I heard you were in town, so I decided to see if we might cross paths. I have so much to tell you about my inspection, so I'm afraid you'll need to clear your diary for me soon. Bring in 7 years?
Gosh.
Let's just focus on report. Don't worry, I'll give you just a gist. Firstly, the Mage Academy's reconstruction is going swimmingly, repairs are in full swing, and we're already processing admissions. I must say, I'm so surprised you appointed me of all the people to be the Academy's head mistress. I was rather looking forward to going back on tour as a songstress. Oh, and I shall introduce you to my